All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Got a little too excited on the last video and wasn't able to get these in, but I will do my best to keep it classy on this one. All right, so amazing, amazing, amazing across these three as well. I feel like I haven't covered ACB and SNDL in quite a long time, so we're looking forward to putting some fresh thoughts onto these ones. All right, just looking at ACB, honestly, I feel like a lot of my CGC comments are really going to echo here, right? What was losing all the moving averages, what was going down that black hole abyss of all-time lows, red, 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 red becomes green, 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 right? And you can see this one did not break the 200, unlike we just saw with the other ones, right? So SNDL looking good, and high tide, I've been unable to give good thoughts for what feels like the last 2 weeks, but seems like we might be trying to escape the moving averages, right? So excited for this one. Sorry I couldn't include it in the last one, but before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines on this one, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, that's my kitty in the background. I'm so grateful for it, all right? So let's get into it. An ACB, look, you can tell my cat's getting excited. Oh, who's an excited kitty? Oh my gosh, she is excited right now because look at this thing. Look at this thing. What has been nothing but pain since, I mean, roughly September of last year through what, last week? I mean, there was a lot of bad on ACB, right? And I mean, just scrolling out, this is a stock that has notoriously not done well, right? I used to joke when I covered ACB, like when I remember, I don't know if this was maybe the last time I covered ACB, but there was a real good pop. Yeah, I think it was maybe this one, where all the ACB faithful like kind of came out from the shadows because they could be accepted really quickly. And then I feel like they quickly went back in. But yeah, ACB, once this one turns around, that was the point I was trying to make. I used to joke that once ACB turns around, the sector is ready to go. And I still hold that thought, and oh my, it looks like we might be trying. Again, I just zoomed out, you saw it, right? Since, I mean, at least 2021. And let's be honest, let's just keep zooming out and kind of calling this an anomaly of a moment. It feels like since 2019, we have been well under that purple 200 moving average. All right, this is obviously a lot longer of an anomaly than this one. Don't get me wrong. I might be exaggerating a point by kind of brushing off what really is almost a 6-month window. But again, when you're talking about from 2019 all the way through 2024, a 6-month window is kind of a drop in the bucket, right? This purple line is just, it's easy and it's hard to break, right? It feels like we might be setting up, and man, I am loving this MACD that's positive. We've got an RSI that's still hungry, and it wasn't that long ago we were actually in the 87s, 84s. That's actually a different thing than I said about Tilray. Tilray, I was worried because we actually haven't gotten over 80 in quite a long time. It's interesting to see ACB actually was in the, like I said, 89 range not that long ago during this last run right here, right? So I like the combined divergence. Again, divergence just means two lines going away from each other. I loved the combined divergence on the MACD and the RSI. I love that we were a little bit high. I'm always a little worried when an RSI reading is at 80, right? That's generally where it should start to turn, but it seems like it might want more, right? I'm zooming out right now to look at volume. This is a little bit of an anomaly volume, right? Today is arguably a top 5, top 6 day in the stock, right? I mean, it looks like maybe there's 2 days right there, maybe 2 days right there, and that's kind of it, maybe even a top 5, right? I think a little worried that it might be hard to replicate or duplicate. Sorry, replicate or break. Duplicate's the same word. This 13 million number. I think that's a little bit of concern. But again, I'm loving this candle. I'm loving the MACD and the RSI, right? And I feel like even if we come down to like 10 or 9-ish million, I think good things can happen still, all right? So let's talk about what's been going on, right? So right here, this moment was an important one because right here we lose all 5 moving averages and start to go down, right? So I'm loving the fact that today broke what essentially was that the start of the all-time low line, arguably, right? This was a really important line to break. Clearly, I want to break the 200 moving average. And it's funny because let me zoom out before I make the next comment, actually. Let me just zoom out real quick. Oh, I think that's it, and I think that makes sense. Okay, look, what I was just gonna say is it's fun. I don't know if you watched my CGC video. I believed breaking 455 was actually more important than these lines because there was literally a month and a half, almost 2 month window where that was an important thing, as well as roughly another 2 month window where that was an important line, right? ACB, I don't think that this line was as important. Again, there was a good window right here, but only a little bit one right here. So I don't think it's quite as extreme as that 455 line, but yeah, I'm telling you, I loved that we broke that. I'm hungry to break the 200 right now, and really the spacing between the lines makes this an interesting play because look, we can actually come as low as 435, let's call it 430, 433, 430, 435, and I would still be bullish. We would still be over the 100 moving average. We didn't break the 200, so we actually don't need to break it on Monday. Obviously, I would love to, and that would be amazing, right? But yeah, we can still come back to the 100 and be okay. It looks like we're going to golden cross the 8 on the and the 50 moving average, right? So I am still liking this thing. What I really want to see, where's this? Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I am looking for this to close at 530. Right, you can see this September candle, the close of the day was 529, right? Give me 530 and I'm going to start to believe we're going up, all right? The real line I want to draw is I think this one. Yeah, that is the line because look, when I drew that, I'm a little bit into this big one. If 576 breaks, it actually might be a pretty quick run to this 730 number. I'll draw that line as well. I think those are 2 good lines to have right now. 707 I think is low. Oh, that's a good line. That actually hits the bottom of that guy right there. I think that's not quite half line though. I feel like that's, okay, so that said 730. Okay, I like that line. That actually hits the top and the bottom of that candle. I like this. These are going to be our 2 lines right here. I don't need us to go to 775 tomorrow one more time, right? I'm really, really happy around 520. I'm really, really happy around 530, right? That'll make me believe we've gotten over the 2, and then that'll put me there. And again, if we come down a little bit, it's still okay. Just don't lose that 100 moving average, right? German headlines, German headlines, German headlines. I haven't really talked about it yet, and that's obviously what did the push today. There's a little bit of a theory in my head that I don't know if it's exactly German legalization that's made this hype. I kind of believe there's a little bit of a, if Germany can do it, the US can too, and there's a little bit of a ride from the Kamala Harris comments, basically on this candle right here, right on the 15th, last Friday, right? So that's still a little bit of a theory I have. Again, I might be an ignorant American and completely wrong. I might be completely undervaluing the German market share and the German, value potential. So please let me know if you disagree. But yeah, that's a little bit of a theory I got. So let's check out the weekly. What does the weekly want to tell me? Oh, look at that. What's that weekly number at? 509. Okay, let's see what 509 can do. Again, I think maybe since I said that 509 number, maybe I'll be a little happier with that like 520 number instead of 530. Even getting like 510, 511 would still actually be good enough, just given that that's a 50 moving average on the weekly and a harder number than I saw on the daily, right? So Let me know your thoughts here. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's come into SNDL. It's been a long time since I've covered this. Look how old my lines are, but my goodness. If you went back to my videos, I haven't changed these lines in a while. This actually really caught a lot of the movements. I don't remember the last time I covered this. Really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share, hey, it would be much, much appreciated, all right? So, big day today, right? Like let's just state the obvious really quickly. Big day today, okay? It's been a while since I've looked at this. So, you know what I want to do? I want to delete all my lines. I want to look at this fresh and let's do this together. 11 lines. That's a lot of stuff. So, you know, it's weird. This feels a little choppier than the ACB. I don't know why. I just feel like this looks like a little bit smaller and more manageable candles as opposed to these. And like it's kind of like, I think it's messing with my eyes. I don't know why I mentioned that. Okay, let's talk about this right here because I think this is what's catching my eye. Okay, when there are too many moving averages too close together, it is very, very hard to make an educated opinion about where things are going to go because I always talk about it as a tornado. Look, it almost, I mean, well, not, it doesn't really happen there, but you basically go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, you keep going down, and then you keep going up. Like, there's this crazy up and down that's just a little hardcore. I've been mentioning it on high tide the last, I mean, feels like 2 weeks, and you can kind of see it here, right? Like it's been living in those two, it started living in these three, and now started living in those four. SNDL was actually in all five, right? The more moving averages in the cluster, the harder it is to make a move, all right? So really makes a lot of sense why we were basically going horizontal. We were just doing what the lines wanted us to do, right? Volume was very lackluster during that horizontal movement too, right? We were at least around the 50-day average. I think that's what at least kept things horizontal instead of more downtrending. But nonetheless, look, everything really started to change for the entire sector last Friday, right? Last Friday, Kamala Harris made the news. Her first positive weed headlines. I obviously covered other stocks. I didn't include SNDL, SNDL, and I apologize, right? But yeah, the same comments kind of happened, right? For real, that's a scary Thursday candle. And I don't know what I would have thought of this Thursday candle, right? Because number one, it was far more extreme than Tilray. And I've said, even when I was covering Tilray, I felt that like SNDL and Tilray were almost moving hand in hand, right? So this one recovered while SNDL had a really scary candle. It did, right? It went from we're about to break the 200 moving average all the way down to, oh my goodness, we've lost 100, right? So it was able to hold the 8 moving average. But again, I'm being real honest. I might have freaked out from that because that killed 1, that killed 2, and actually took more than 50% of this third candle, right? Like, oh my goodness. Nonetheless, I think this was the last moment that the moving averages were kind of in control, because today is making me believe that we've escaped. Look, the Kamala headlines at least got us from the bottom to the top, right? I don't know if that was just a normal, movement within this. It feels like no, because you can see it, like it fizzles more than it goes up continually, right? Or when it goes up, it didn't really go all the way up, right? So I don't know. I do give these four some credit to Kamala. I feel like this was just nothing more than being in the all 5 moving averages. And then again, today, German headlines loveliness, right? So what am I looking for on Monday? This is the line. That's not high enough. That's our line. Okay, we need to come to 182. This must close at $1.82. I would love it to go a little higher and actually maybe come to 185. But I think 182, 183 is probably the lowest number I'd be willing to take to call it confirmation. All right, look, we've tried to escape once, we've tried to escape twice, we're now trying to escape for a third time, and you can see it. I can actually include this as number 4, right? Like we've done some damage here to the moving averages, so let's escape it, right? And hey, if we can make a good move, it feels like we'll be coming 2. Look at that, bottom of that, middle of that. It feels like we'll be coming to 2, and then maybe even, I like that. I'll take that. 217. I think that's good enough. And again, I think it goes. I think the reason it's just a little too close of a line is, like I said, it seems a little bit choppier of a chart. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know if that statement's like making sense as I'm saying it, but yeah, I like this. Look, this can come as low as 160 and still be bullish. All right. Again, I would love it to head up into that 185, 183, even higher number just to confirm, right? But yeah, we can still come down and it'll be okay as long as we do not lose the 200 moving average, and yeah, hopefully not lose more than half of today, right? So SNDL, I am liking this. I am liking this. Oh, nice. Cool. Weekly's making me think that we do want to come to around what, 215, right? What's that 100 moving average actually at? 210. Now, this week broke multiple moving averages, so in a lot of ways, I think, yeah, 191. I'm hoping by Friday we're at least at 190, and then that'll really make me believe in that 217. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let's come into high tide. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, please share this video. It does wonders for the algorithms, all right? So I feel like I've been a little useless for the high tide faithful, right? I'm very, very honest about the fact that I can't make an educated decision or an educated guess when there's too many moving averages, right? There's no crystal ball in front of me. I'm only as good as what's in front of me, right? And yeah, my concern was just you go from the top to the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top to it was just the weirdest up and down, right? The Friday headline when Kamala made some news, obviously this is a Canadian stock, right? But we saw the pop, it couldn't continue like the rest. That was super annoying because of the earnings, man. It's so, and I said this on Twitter at least once or twice, but I know how annoying it is I think high tide has dropped at least 4, maybe even 5 consecutive quarters, a full year and 1 extra quarter of good earnings and no market love. That is frustrating. That is oh my gosh, I can't even think of other adjectives to describe how annoying that is, right? End of the day, I'm not here to justify things. I'm not here to argue things. I'm not here to blame manipulation. I'm here to trade what the pattern is. And yeah, the earnings, I sincerely believe, would have kept us in this little channel, and then we'll see what happened. I think today, I know this does not look like a big number. We saw these crazy double digits, almost 70% on CGC, right? I think I like this candle a decent amount more because it's bigger than this one, right? Friday closed at 182. We're at 184. And I think that the trickle will come here. I think we're still lingering with this too many moving averages, but MACD's in the 0. It looks like it's hungry to diverge into the positive. I actually see the green line over the dash. So like that's 0.00001 maybe, but it's in the above positive. That's a beautiful divergence that copies the MACD at a very, very healthy 61. Good volume growth, good volume growth. I feel like Monday's going to escape. I need this to break 130. 193, dyslexic right there, excuse me. We have to get over this line. This is my make me believe that we've escaped the moving averages, right? Isn't that right, girl? You hear my kitty? Yeah, she agrees with me in the back, right? Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So that's what we're looking for. I like today. Again, I know this looks like a small percent. We did better than the Friday attempt. I like the positives. She keeps agreeing with me. Look at that. So I think I've hit that note enough. I don't need to go to the weekly. This is still a day-to-day daily chart. We need to escape all these moving averages. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you all so much.